Hello again, everybody. This is Dan over at Tech Marketer for this week's edition of our newsletter here. A little bit of a different background that you get to see here, taking you on an adventure around my house this week, I guess. Today I want to talk about form submissions going into your CRM. So this is typically going to be new leads, but we can talk about this in regards to service requests or renewals or just about anything really. This is going to be via Zapier. Again, Zapier is one of those things that if you ask me, can you explain Zapier? Can you give me the basics of Zapier? No, not really, because there's 1,000 pieces, to Zapier that are involved. So this is one very, very small element of Zapier. One of the most common questions that I get is how do I, get these new form submissions into my CRM so I can start getting communications out immediately. So that's what I'm going to focus on today for you. Whoever your form provider is, I personally really love Gravity Forms. If your website is built on WordPress, you probably already have it. You don't even realize it. So if you are, a client of Chris Langell's over at Advisor Evolved, it's 100% built on WordPress, and you have Gravity Forms. So shout out to Chris. If you don't have them building your website, you absolutely need to. So Gravity Forms, it could be Woohoo, it can be any of the other forms that are out there right now, Jotform, etc. Again, Gravity Forms is just what I'm picking on here. So couple pieces of advice that I will give on building your form. So one thing that I do like about Gravity Forms is that when you have a name, it will automatically split that out, first name, last name. If you put that there, and then it will combine it together to make one full name. What I mean by that is, so this is everything that I just submitted, right? So on the form itself, I have first name, last name, but it will actually combine them too. So the advice that I would give you is match your form up to your CRM, right? So if your CRM takes first name, last name, then put on your form first name, last name. If it takes full name, you can do full name. When in doubt, split up first name, last name, because even something like this, when it's got just this full name field, you can just do first name space last name, and it will be exactly the same as doing that. Okay, so when in doubt, first name, last name as separate fields. Same thing with address. So street address, city, state, zip, I always break those out as well. Because again, if you need to combine them all into one field, it's a lot easier to do that than it is to break them apart. That could be potentially a separate video on how to break all that stuff apart, but that's more advanced than most of you are going to need to be. So first name, last name, make life nice and simple. Now, what I like about doing it this way and having it come via Zapier too is you can also trigger some custom automations. I know you can do this obviously in Agency Zoom. If you're a better agency user, just make sure you have a policy type in the lead source on there, and you can trigger a custom lead campaign that way. If you're Agency Zoom, you can do lead source. You can apply a specific tag, and then you can come into Agency Zoom. And now I can go ahead and create an email. Let's just say a text message like, "Hey, you just submitted it, so I'm gonna have this go out immediately." But I only want it to come to specific lead sources, right? So here's a Chamber of Commerce. I'm just going to pick on that one for now. If I want this specific lead source, this is what I want coming in. Beautiful thing about doing these forms too is you can actually specify the lead source. Like if I have a form posted on a website, that lead source is now website new lead. If I have a form that goes out to a very specific referral partner, that form is now this specific referral partner, is the lead source, right? So I can come into Zapier here, I can find that lead source field, which I just had, there we go. And I can select it from right here, right? So that way I know for a fact that every time a lead comes through here, it's going to have Chamber of Commerce, which means that when it gets dropped into this pipeline, it's going to have, sorry, wrong tab, it is going to have this text message go out every single time because I've isolated it to just that Chamber of Commerce. And again, same thing you can do with tags too, which is also really cool. So very, very basic first step inside of Zapier, connecting forms into your CRM. Like I said, you can do this with any CRM. I just happen to have access to Agency Zoom, but I know you can do it with anybody that connects to Zapier that way. So again, as always, if this was helpful, if this was beneficial, let me know. If you want to see something specific, also let me know. I have no problem doing like a series of Zapier videos for you guys as well. So if there's something specific inside of Zapier that you want to know how that works, definitely hit me up and I will happily record some videos on that as well. Zapier is just too big to just do one broad video about it. So this is what I've got for this week. And I appreciate you all staying subscribed, and I will check you out next week.